Daily Broadside, day 346. Yesterday, TikTok actually came in handy in my life. I was standing outside in my outside portion of my shop at a workbench, changing a chain on a couple chainsaws, just doing some stuff, tweaking them and messing with them and cleaning them up and whatnot. And I hear something off to my right, and I look, and there's a duck walking up to me. And it's one of these... it looked like a pet. It was one of those white ducks with the orange head. Oh, and little aside for this story, in preparation for telling this story, I wanted to know what kind of duck that was. Apparently it's a Pekin, P-E-K-I-N, Pekin duck. Well, the problem with that is I typed into Google orange duck with white head, except I misspelled and accidentally put orange dick with white head. And from what I learned from that is apparently if your penis is discolored, you should seek medical attention quickly, because that's a sign of bad things. But so that's my message to you. But what I meant to say was white duck with orange head, and it's a Pekin. Anyway, so this duck comes up to me and it just walks right up to me, and I'm like, this bastard's got to be a pet. And I'm like, shouldn't these things fly south? Like, are they even supposed to be here right now? And I don't know anybody in the area that's got a duck. But that doesn't, discount the fact that somebody could. So it comes up to me, and I stop what I'm doing. I kind of bend down to make myself smaller, so I'm not seen as a threat to the Pekin duck. It's Peking. Yeah, this is Pekin. It doesn't have a G on the end. I wonder if it's the same thing. Anyway, I didn't eat it, so I don't know. But it comes over, and it's got what I recognized immediately as a bumblefoot on one of its little flappers, right? And I'm like, oh crap, I saw somebody excising one of these like a couple weeks or a month ago, right? It's a pretty simple process, right? And apparently bumblefoot is like the colloquial name for some kind of infection that like birds and ducks get on their little flappers, right? So the thing comes right over to me, right? And it's like a full grown duck, right? And so I pick it up and I go over and I set it on my workbench, and I'm like, God, I hope my neighbor comes by and he'll be like, why do you have a chainsaw and another chainsaw and a duck on your workbench? And I'll be like, funny you ask, but he didn't. So it was just me. I'm looking around, So I step in the shop and I get a razor knife, heat it up with some MAP gas for a minute, wait till it cools. And I decided to myself, for unknown reasons, I don't know why, but I decided that I can take this bumblefoot out of this poor little thing's flapper. And so I'm like, all right, cool. So I heat the thing up, I cool it to touch so it's not going to burn the duck, because I don't know what kind of, nerve endings they have on these little flapper things. And feet, flappers, flippers, I don't know what they're called, but the things they walk on. And so I go over there and I bundle the duck in my arm, and with my other hand, I just put the slightest little incision in the top of the bumblefoot, like seed or whatever it's called. And, I made just like a little teeny, little maybe 4 millimeters, just tiny little 4 millimeter. And so I sit there and I set the blade down. It was a Milwaukee, case knife. And so I've got the thing in my arm, and I basically, I'd gone and there's some gloves right there. So I'd put gloves on prior to this, because I don't know what bumblefoot juice does to human skin. I don't want to find out. So I'm wearing rubber gloves, I forgot to mention. And so I take the little bumblefoot seed and I just, and it just pops right out. And I'm like, I'm the greatest duck neighbor of duck owners. Duck owner neighbor. I'm the best neighbor at this moment in time in the state of North Carolina. And I put the duck down, and he just kind of stands and hangs out with me a little bit. I'd like flick the little seed, whatever it was. It's almost like a cyst. It's like a hard zit or something. I don't know, but so I felt good about myself. And then when I started the chainsaw up, a few minutes later, he decided to take off, but he waddled on off. But it bled a little, but for the most part, it's probably going to need some bacteria management, to kind of, I didn't have any way to irrigate it, hose it out. I had a hose, but I didn't figure that the duck would stand for that. And I wasn't going to be the person to push the issue. So I'm technically a unauthorized, unofficial, but effective duck veterinarian in my off time. Giddy up.